Hey, 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 we are live on the SideQuest, your weekly journey into the wonderful world of video games and video game culture and all the things that are adjacent to that, including beverages, which we are drinking some tonight. I'm Dolly Domofsky. Joining me is JJ with Brainworm. Is the Brainworm alive or dead?
Unclear. I have a doctor's appointment coming up.
Okay. What are you drinking, JJ? You said you were drinking
Uh,
something.
I'm drinking Powerade Sour watermelon
Nice.
lime. As I said, I'm like, why not just call it Sourade? It's right there. It's nobody does puns anymore. It took them like
Right?
5 or 6 attempts to finally call s'more Oreos s'moreos. Like,
Right.
like just do
Or
it.
like or
Have
like
fun.
Adam
Everything's just
Copeland is having
yeah.
the Cope Open. Why not just call it the Copen?
Yeah, nobody has fun anymore. Everything's so like it has to be brandable. It has to fucking
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to include our name in the thing or else like
Listen, the only thing that needs should be talked about should be the only thing we should be talking about is was it SGW
yeah,
soft
soft ground
ground
wrestling, baby. Let's just turn this
yeah.
back into SQW talks SGW.
We might have to do maybe a monthly episode of SQW.
Let's see if we can get
We'll get
John in
John.
here.
John. Oh, he's been itching. He's been itching to
Yeah.
join us. Anyways, we're going to talk video games here because that is what we are wont to do. And
Not this week. I don't video
it's
games
been
video games don't bring me joy this week.
it's been week. Well, let's just dive right into it. Obviously, the news that JJ is alluding to is the Xbox news, which is just hot garbage. Xbox is shutting down Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, and 2 other Bethesda studios, Alpha Dog and Roundhouse Games. It's
and this is and it's just
easy.
and this isn't it. This isn't like the last of it. Like
This is not the last of it. No,
it's
we heard
just
some mutterings before. And then today we found out. I think Schreier
Schreier.
posted about they're basically offering
Yeah,
buyouts. Oh man, it's
such a
just. Oh, I forgot to mention. I'm drinking coffee.
oh yeah, coffee. Is it black or do you got cream and sugar, some honey?
The
What do you
first
got
time I
going
put
on?
cream in coffee in like a week and a half. I've been trying
Oh,
to
wow.
cut down on the carbs. I've realized that I just intake way too much sugar, so I'm trying to cut down on the amount of carbs it takes, so I can actually make the sugars and stuff that I am intaking enjoyable and like with the purpose, which is why I'll get into a little bit the movie I went and saw. But I had junk food at the movie theater, and I'm like, wow, this is the first time I've had like junk food in a while, like sugary food, and it feels good. So
it's my birthday month, so when I went to
yeah,
go see Star Wars Episode 1, I got a free large tub of popcorn and a
nice.
large soda. I was like, this is too much of anything for anyone, but
I went for
free.
the chicken tenders,
I
tendies, and the sweet potato fries and the frozen Coke. So
You will
that was mine.
absolutely never get me to order actual food at a movie theater.
Oh
It is never gonna happen.
no!
It's yeah.
Meanwhile,
The,
when we saw Ghostbusters, both Taylor and I just loaded up on.
yeah, the best you'll get out of me is maybe a pretzel, but
Yes,
like, nah, it is
but
popcorn, candy, and a beverage.
a
Sometimes it'll be a soda.
beverage.
Sometimes it'll be a soda. Sometimes it'll be an icy. Depends on how my blood sugar is
Yeah.
doing because I actually have to watch my carbs for
Yes.
health reasons, not just because.
Yes. As we all should. Well,
Yeah, anyway, speaking of health
people that are going to
reasons,
need health reasons. There's a lot of people suffering with, a lot of people having some mental health
yeah,
issues right now because of this, and it's just horrible.
I was just thinking about it. You read all the tweets and you read all of the fucking bootlickers sort
Mm-hmm.
of defending decisions and talking about like as if like this isn't anything more than just a fucking company that whose eyes were too big for their stomach kind of thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they thought they were gonna fucking get. Like you bought up everybody, you got
Yeah.
into thousands of lawsuits, you released jack shit, and then you just like pull your hands out, like what happened? I don't know how this could have fucking happened. And then they just come out and
Man.
routinely and just like you gotta call it as it is on this. They just came out and fucking lied to every journalist on the planet when this show's like, no, by every metric, Hi-Fi
every
Rush
metric
was
tweet. Yeah.
yeah, by every metric, Hi-Fi Rush was a success, which was just a fucking lie. That was just a lie. It's like it may have been, yeah.
That's this one right here.
Yeah.
Jez Corden said, "What exactly determines success?" And
Yeah.
Aaron Greenberg, yeah, Hi-Fi Rush was a breakout hit for us and our players in all key measurements and expectations. That is such corporate speak, by the way.
Yeah.
Corporate speak, and that was last year, exactly 12 months ago.
Yeah, and I went on a rant like yesterday about
I
how
saw
like
that. Yeah,
we just. We're not allowed. Nobody in the industry is allowed to throw hardball questions, and nobody's going to answer hardball questions. So we're just always fucking stuck with the corporate speak. Like you don't see that very often in other forms of entertainment, like journalism. Like the news, like the journalists with Hollywood, like it is a symbiotic relationship where they hate each other, but like you're allowed to ask questions, you're allowed to leak things and not have it be as like tear down their fucking business. Like the whole like that shit happens all the time. Like with video games, it's a walled garden. You can't ask if you only get Phil on your fucking couch if you're just going to talk about how great everything's going.
I don't want to see Phil. I don't want to see Phil on a couch. We know what we're referring to, unless it is to just focus on these issues. I don't want Phil on a couch to say, things really suck. We have to make some hard decisions. But check it out. We got Avowed coming this year, and we got Indiana Jones.
Well,
you know what?
Yeah. And you got the fucking like
get off my couch.
And you got fucking like, oh, but we got some great Fallout 76 content on the way. So
we got Starfield DLC coming. You guys excited?
DLC is coming. We got
Garfield DLC also. Starfield and
Garfield. Arcane is still working on Blade, guys. It's fine.
The other Arcane is the
other Arcane.
Yeah, it's you look at this article, and this is so the news broke via an internal email that IGN got, and then it spread like wildfire after that.
You know what?
Other folks got it, and
good on IGN for posting that email because like an older IGN would have never have done that,
right?
Because
you got to give it up to the kind of the newer group of journalists over there who are actually doing journaling. They're, Rev is doing fantastic work. A lot of the folks there, and they're facing like heavy unionization issues within IGN too. So you have actual journal, like, it's cool to see IGN kind of flip in some respects to start actually asking those hard questions.
Because IGN was as always, it's IGN and GameSpot were always the fucking softball, like, they are just a
corporate
PR firm for they're just a PR firm for every studio out there. So to actually see IGN do something like that, created something.
So look at you look at the stuff that Matt Booty, who's kind of the head of Xbox Game Studios, said reprioritization of titles and resources. Some employees will be realigned to other teams and others laid off. Basically, like the Arcane Austin, Redfall was about to release a single player mode, offline mode. That offline mode, which would have actually been kind of cool. Like I would have gone into it because I do not love live service. I'll get into that in a second, but like I would have dug it at that point. I would have really.
It's too late for Redfall, man.
Too late for like, you know what? I mean,
I don't think
Fallout 76, Fallout 76 like that. But
but Fallout 76 has a reason why it got that second win. Like, there's no reason for Redfall to get that second win. You think the average person out there is going to know that this game that they didn't like the first time around has changed fundamentally because we added an offline mode? No, it's too late. That's coming.
But but they were also working on that the DLC. So there are like waves of DLC that are never going to come out now. People pre-purchased it. The 3 people who
this is just one of those situations where like Arcane Lion was doomed from the start with this whole the second Redfall was announced, they were doomed because it was a game they didn't have any passion about. They wanted to move on to the next thing. They wanted to do other stuff, and this is a game that they were kind of forced into, and it made a bad game because it's a bad game. I don't care what anyone says, it's a bad game. Even if you strip the live service stuff away from it, I've
Yeah,
played better games of this
sure.
style. Like, but like,
And then, but
yeah,
yeah, that's beyond the point. Like
yeah,
besides the point. Like really, it's
yeah,
you have teams that are talented.
yeah,
You have teams that fell on the sword for corporate BS. That's what
yeah,
happened to Arcane Austin. Like they were developing
yeah,
stuff, and everything we've heard was Redfall was having developmental issues
yeah,
throughout the process to the point where the team members were like actively questioning, do we want to continue making this game or
yeah,
kind of start from scratch again? And Microsoft, when Microsoft picked up
yeah,
Bethesda, they basically said, you're going to finish it. You're going to finish this version. Take the time you need, an extra 2 weeks or whatever,
yeah,
but you're going to finish this version and put it out. Um, you know,
yeah, yeah.
you look
They
at
were,
that
yeah,
Tango. I think the big one that everyone talks about right now is Hi-Fi Rush from Tango Gameworks.
yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush was what you mentioned earlier. It was the massive success. It hit every metric, whatever that is.
yeah.
And you shut that studio down to the point where there was and I'm going to post this right now. I'm going to share this tab. Microsoft says it needs games like Hi-Fi Rush the day after killing its studio.
Yeah.
Matt Booty again came out and said, we need smaller games that are critical hits. It's like, then why did you kill the studio
Really
that
living
made
up to his name,
the?
man.
Yeah, man. It is just. This is thank you, Verge. It's just like how is there any goodwill left with
There's,
Microsoft? Like
there,
there's
it's incredible.
when
Like,
you've lost Tim
yeah,
Dog, we're
yeah. You've
all. I
lost
think it's
Tim
funny.
Dog,
It's funny because we berated Tim Dog for just being a
blind
typical
fanboy. Yeah.
typical blind fan, but all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I kind of maybe he's right. Maybe
But
too
it
much.
turned out he wasn't as blind as he
Exactly.
came out,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he made the fucking jump, and
He made that jump before the ship went down.
yeah,
But this is like I've seen countless people within Microsoft say, "How can you trust?
yeah,
How can you trust this company right now? How can studios
yeah,
actively trust the company that purchased them?" And you can't. You can't.
yeah. I'll tell you one thing. This whole situation is going to make every smaller anybody who is working deals for Game Pass like
yeah.
question the entire process of
And it's Microsoft, and I posted this in our Discord. Feel free to join the Discord over at sidequesting.com. Hit the Discord button. I said Microsoft is so tied to money from services like Game Pass, daily active users, monthly active users. Like they actually don't care about sales per se.
Yeah.
They care about those users and the subscriptions. And you have a game like Hi-Fi Rush, which is cool. Maybe it'll drive. Maybe I think Microsoft was hoping that it would drive subscriptions and there would be a lot of like daily active users.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of game,
No.
but in order to make games like Hi-Fi Rush successful, is you have to have a consistent stream of internal first-party smaller games that get people to subscribe back into your service. And Game Pass right now has sort of stalled out. They're not going to hit. They're not hitting. Game Pass isn't hitting the metrics that Microsoft put out there. Remember, they wanted like 50 million ultimate subscribers, and they're barely brushing past 25.
I'm gonna get to, like, retroactively makes me pissed off about like how effervescent we were about Game Pass in previous episodes. Like that's Evanescence, yeah. Effervescent, like bubbly and just but like we used to be fucking, this used to be the fucking Game Pass show, man.
No Man's Sky got a second chance. Fallout 76 got a second chance. Redfall's given, and I believe, could Redfall have been saved? I don't know, but they could have repackaged aspects of it. Anyways, continue. Sorry, you were saying, you were.
No, it's just like the bullshit we've been shoveled for the past few years from Microsoft about the sort of glowing success of everything. Like, there's nothing you can do. You can't question any of this. You have to believe.
No, you're not allowed to.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to question any of it. You're
not allowed to question Game Pass. You can't. Game Pass makes everybody rich, and that's exactly it. Then you start talking to like indies, like no,
Microsoft sold it as like these, people are making money that they never would have made through signing deals with us, and all of our first party stuff, and it's just like, and it's getting to the point now where it's just like, what, fuck them, man. I don't know what you want me to say, Microsoft, but like you have like hit levels lower than I've seen in a while. Like like even when even like coming off of the PlayStation 2 into the PlayStation 3 and Sony fucking tanked. Sony didn't really tank because of like this kind of decision making. They
Right.
tanked
No,
just
just stupid
because
pricing.
just pricing and their sort of like speed
Yeah.
was bad. Like, you know, Microsoft, like, boy, it started nosediving almost immediately after the Xbox 360, and it's just been in a like it was in a tailspin, but then they introduced Game Pass and things started scooping up shit. And it's like it seemed like the plane was being righted, but
Hey
I think
guys,
that
Game
was
Pass, the best value in video games, except for the studios that create stuff for games.
except for half the games that are on this service
Yeah.
now are going to be from dead studios.
Yeah.
Well, way to
It's
go, guys.
and I'm really wondering
Hi-Fi
if
Rush
we
is in
yeah.
this month's humble
Oh
choice.
God, yeah. Well, that's another thing. Like, Hi-Fi Rush is not a sequel was pitched
Yeah.
for Hi-Fi Rush. That's not happening, obviously.
Yeah, that Switch
And
version never.
the Switch version is like the Microsoft. I think Matt Booty basically said, yeah, it's gonna remain on the platforms it is now, which is like, it was coming out to Switch, bro. You were saying it without saying it that it was on its way to Switch. But it's just. It is such a poor. It's just the decision making is so. Microsoft is way too tied in on Game Pass right now, and it cannot afford to only have Game Pass on its devices, just its devices, and just PC. You need to strike a deal with Sony and get Game Pass on it.
Yeah,
Even if it's just for Microsoft games, you have to get Game Pass. You have to do it with Nintendo. You have to. You have to do it with Apple. With the
I would say the fact that like we're still like dragging our feet on this Apple thing, like, hey, that Game Boy emulator,
dude,
still alive and kicking.
That thing is awesome.
Like,
and I'm noted as not being the greatest lover of emulation for ethical standards, blah blah blah. But I fucking play that thing every day. I play that thing more than I play Game Pass. I feel serious. I feel so freaking horrible for the developers, for the studios, for that talent, because they feel not only they're losing their jobs, which is obviously that sucks, but they have to feel demoralized that they did everything right. They got Metacritic scores. They got whatever those metrics were,
I
whether
remember
sales or whatever.
I shared the picture in
enough.
the Discord where the Tango posted their "We've all been fired" image, and their very previous tweet before that, the last tweet they did before that was them winning all the awards at the BAFTAs.
Unbelievable.
Like it just goes to people are now working at Microsoft in studios, small studios that actually have no idea if their job's ever safe. Because if you can shut down a studio that you have praised up and down that they did it, like this outsold our like guesses, this won awards, it did everything, no negative press, no anything, everything was positive, and they still got shut down within a year of their game being released. That can happen to anybody at any point,
right? Yeah
because
it no longer
there's
matters.
no comfort. There's no comfort now. There's no
there isn't. No, I was gonna say I feel like you may start seeing a talent exodus from Microsoft in situations like this.
They're gonna have shells of studios. They're gonna the reason you bought the studios aren't gonna be there anymore because those people are gone.
When Shinji Mikami tweets about about him being sad that the studio he left is closing.
Yeah, you're fucking cooked, guys.
You're
like
cooked. Who wants to? What third-party studios are going to want to work with Microsoft at this point?
Yeah, at this point, you're gonna start like dealing with desperate indie devs that really just need their cash influx, or
the 18th version of Vampire Survivors and Among Us games.
Yeah, just like V Rising is gonna come to the fucking 360 Game Pass or something. Yeah,
you're gonna have those kind of lower, the lower or mid eye level indies, but it's just all the money will go to Activision and Mojang. I mean, that's all they bought those companies for a reason. I mean, I will not be surprised if members of Tango and Arcane and those others end up working on Call of Duty at some
Yeah,
point.
I have to assume that a good chunk of the Arcane guys in particular,
Sure.
I have to assume more than one contract was offered out to be
Yeah.
part of Sledgehammer or what the fuck ever. Like, you know,
Man, it's a
or
mess.
what is Raven? That's who they always
Raven
have to do
software.
the cleanup work on Call of Duties. Well, I can't believe we we allowed Activision to just destroy Raven software like this.
Oh man, yeah, Raven had some bangers, and it's sad. It's just a sad week. It's losing those studios sucks in any
Yeah.
capacity,
This
but
is
it feels extra crappy this week because of what we're seeing here with great games, great developers for what seemingly like no reason.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like when EA scooped up Maxis and then just fucking
Yeah, made
drilled
My
it.
Sims.
Yeah, and just absolutely ruined the entire legacy of Maxis. Like, it's just.
Well,
But also, yeah, they got Call of Duty, but now they're like kicking around. Like, do we put Call of Duty on Game Pass?
yeah, exactly. Not just a COD support studio. That's right. Good.
Yep.
DJ Orta, good to see you, buddy.
Raven made one of my favorite sevens of all time.
Which was
Wolverine Origins.
That's right. That's right. Let's see what other Raven software. I'm trying to see what else they made on Wikipedia. Raven Software. Oh, they were founded in 1990. They made the basically exclusivity deal in 97, and some of their big games are a list of Raven Software games. Let's
Hexen?
see.
I think they did
Heretic.
Yeah, Heretic.
Or Heretic. Sorry, Hexen
Heretic
2.
and Hexen, yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, Soldier of
X-Men Soldier of Fortunes. Yeah.
X-Men Legends, man.
Yeah.
Jedi Knight Academy, some of the stuff there. So the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, that's right. They worked on some of the ports for. So yeah, good. There's Wolverine, the Wolfenstein game. That was the Activision only. The first
Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah. The first Activision, the only Activision Wolfenstein game.
You can see why Activision wanted them for Call of Duty with between Soldier of Fortune and Wolfenstein.
And then the game that I freaking loved, which one of my perfect sevens, Singularity. I freaking loved
Singularity. That was like their last
that was their last
game, right? Yeah.
That we got that as a review code, and that was fantastic. Yeah, 343 has to be worried. Double Fine. Yep. 343, Double Fine, everybody. It's Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory is going to be real nervous about presenting Hellblade 3 to Microsoft because that seems to be presenting DLC or a sequel opportunity.
I mean, the fear. I mean, the one another thing that kind of broke was Microsoft's actively looking at putting Hellblade 2 on PS5, which seems like a good place to go anyways. But
in real talk, Ninja Theory is in a bad place right now.
They are.
There is no way in hell that Hellblade 2 is going to
do the numbers.
The whatever. What was it?
The metrics.
The MP or whatever the fuck it was that Microsoft is looking for. Like, I truly am worried.
The measurements and expectations. The measurements and expectations. Math.
Yeah.
Do the math. Yeah. Well, let's actually move on to some decent news because rising from the ashes of Microsoft being just kind of poopy is that let me open this sucker up. Where's have you heard of Nintendo?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Nintendo Switch surpasses 140 million sales. 13.5 million sales forecast for the rest, through to April of next year, which should put it ahead of the DS and or right on the heels of it, and then probably ahead of the DS, and then nipping will surpass the PS2 within the next. I mean, I can see them doing a price drop version of this and making the Switch Lite be the a $99. Oh, could you imagine a $99 Switch Lite? Oh, yeah, God, that would kill. That would kill.
I wish they would just for me personally, on a personal level, I wish they would just make a really tiny Switch Lite. just
me too.
Just an ending salvo.
Dude,
yeah, just like it's a little like fucking phone-sized Switch Lite. Like
the Switch Micro. Give me a Switch Micro because I want to put it in my pocket and I want to go into the stall at work and I want to play. and I don't want to
Yes.
be,
I
I don't want to
That's
be
why I still carry my 3DS around regularly because
yeah.
man, is it easy just to
Switch Micro. Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Is it easy just to throw that motherfucker in a pocket and pull it out?
Totally.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they're making buku bucks right now, and Nintendo
yeah.
is still somehow in the seventh year of a console, still doing
Like it's so
killer.
baffling. Like only Nintendo. See, this is the difference between Nintendo and like Microsoft. Is like Nintendo makes some of the most baffling decisions
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
all
man.
time. They're always behind in hardware, and this is probably like the most significantly behind in terms of
Yep.
hardware that they've
Yep.
ever really been.
For sure.
But
For
it doesn't.
sure.
But it didn't fucking matter, which is just beautiful.
Yeah.
But like for every like dumb decision Nintendo, at least they have whimsy to it.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be something that Nintendo puts out that's a stopgap that will take your mind off of whatever bullshit thing, whatever like shitty lawsuit Nintendo did this
Yep.
week. You'll at
And
least
we
have
got news on some stuff
yeah,
that,
boy,
but what interestingly enough,
yeah,
uh, obviously, 140 million. They're and then you get to this note here, which is
yeah,
Nintendo reveals the reveal date for the Switch successor will be revealed in the next year. Basically, they're revealing news. I wrote this. I liked it.
yeah,
It's not here yet, but Nintendo did acknowledge it.
yeah.
I love how every freaking tweet that they put out like this, it just seems like, hey, your
Yeah.
parents just died. Hey,
Yeah.
this is your uncle.
Boy, when
This is
I
Furukawa. We
yeah,
want
boy,
just
do not start the fucking tweet like it's like yeah, like it's a death announcement. We're
it's
because I really when I first came across my feed, my brain was literally like, what game did they cancel? Who's
yeah,
like what
yeah.
studio have they shut down now?
Whenever Miyamoto, this is Miyamoto. We got a
Yeah.
Mario movie part 2 coming. Oh, so you scared me.
Jesus Christ.
I thought you yeah. Anyways, Furukawa-san said, we're gonna make an announcement about the successor to the Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It's like, oh, cool. Everyone's predicting that it would launch at the beginning of next year. It's
Yeah.
probably March again.
March is
But
usually
yeah,
safe bet.
but I like how they make the point. They're like, it will
Yeah.
have been over 9 years since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. They're basically saying, hey, listen, we announced it 2 years before it released. So keep buying the Switch right now because it may be 2 years after we announce it at some
Yeah.
point this year. So keep buying the Switch. All right, keep buying the Switch
Yeah.
but no, really, it's coming out next March.
Yeah.
Or next year at some point. They also did mention that they're going to have
There's another direct coming.
another
soon.
direct. The first time they've announced a direct this early,
Yeah.
and this is going to be the last Switch direct. It's going to be strictly focused on games for the fall. Get your Metroid Prime 4 hats on and get those Zelda remake hats on, and you're gonna be
Finally.
you're gonna
Silk
be
Song.
yeah, there you go. You're gonna be and then Silk Song, and then those three things are gonna be what's happening. But you know what? They finally acknowledge it, and that's all they said. They said we're gonna work on. We're gonna show you. Yeah, I know this was Michael. We're gonna show you. We're gonna tell you about it by April 1st of next year. So
Yeah, cool.
hold on
I
to your
mean,
horses,
like,
folks.
it's like I like I saw somebody saying it's like everyone. This is the dream. You don't have to come up with anything. This is a corporate, flavorless press shot saying like, okay, here it comes, guys. And like only Nintendo can get away with shit like this. Like
totally.
I don't need like we all know it's very nice for Nintendo just to be like, hey guys, yeah, we have to mention it because the people that are like
shareholders
in the stock market, the shareholders need to know about this, so like you get to know about it, but like we all know. Don't worry about it this year.
What is kind of interesting is they said that's not that they wouldn't say anything more about it. However, during the investor Q&A, they were asked about well, David Gibson, who's constantly there at the Nintendo Q&A, says in the results call, when asked if the next gen console was brand new or something else, Furukawa answered, Switch Next model is the appropriate way to describe it. So everyone's like, oh, Switch Next, it's just an advanced Switch, which remember that this is, we Wii to Wii U is considered next model, and it was a
Yeah,
completely different device.
yeah.
So, and I think I mentioned something else in there too, like and even the GameCube to the Wii, like the Wii was just a repackaged GameCube with new
Yeah,
controllers. And that's
yeah, it
the
was cheap.
same,
Yeah,
but it's so obviously it sold more. So, yeah, hold on to your butts as to what this will be. Will
yeah.
it be a brand new console? No, I don't think it's going to be. But I think they're calling it. I think they want to let people know that it is going to be in the Switch family. Sony
Dude,
does it with PlayStation.
it's
Xbox
going
does
to
it with
be
Xbox. It's going to be a
it's going to be
Switch
more
branded.
of the same, which is
Yeah.
what it needs to be. That's this that, like
Yep.
make keep the development time for whatever the next
Yep.
system is. Like I'm sure that's like, all right, we know what the next, we know what, by the time the next one comes out, this
Yeah.
whole like thing is going to be, everything will be figured out. Like, so we'll be able to, because
Yep.
we're still, because like we are just now entering that sort of glory age of personal handheld computing, like
Right.
especially in terms of gaming,
Yep.
like particularly in terms of gaming. Like we're just now, like the Switch like pushed it out the gate, and of like these convertible, like
Mm-hmm.
you TV, hand, whatever,
Yep.
the Switch walk,
TV in
so
hand,
like the
baby.
Steam Deck could run, and
Yeah. It's
like
what's interesting is like you see the evolution of handhelds has always been about Nintendo, right? They had the Game and Watch, and then eventually that led to like the whole kind of LCD era, and then
yeah,
that led to Game Boy. And when they
yeah,
made Game Boy, all of a sudden you had TurboGrafx, you had Game
yeah,
Gear. They all kind of battled, even though Game Boy was heads and tails with
yeah,
everybody else. But then the real big change happened with DS and PSP. Like
yeah,
there was a real battle between those two.
yeah.
In handheld gaming became the force of video games in the world was
Once
the DS and the PSP.
the
DS
DS was
especially.
like, the DS in particular became like, that was video
Nin-
gaming, and
yeah,
everything else was
yeah,
just bonus, especially for Nintendo. Like it was front
yep,
and center. Everyone had a DS for various reasons. Like
sure,
Nintendo did the thing with the DS that they only wish they could have done the same level with the Wii or anything else, where like they not only got grandmas to buy it for dumb shit like
yeah,
Brain Age or whatever, but they got grandmas to keep using it.
yep, yep. It
Um,
totally.
yeah,
It
this the
became a
yeah.
true it was the predecessor to smartphones. Really, it
Well,
was.
and it
Yeah.
helped, like the DS knew that it could develop and have developed for it cheap software that wasn't
Hmm.
terrible, because there was like
Yeah.
weird shit. If you remember, like, yeah, Nintendo put out their own crossword game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nintendo put out like uh that fucking book reader where you could read public domain books
Yep.
on it and stuff, and like just old-timey casino games, and stuff
Sure.
that works really well in a handheld format.
Hmm.
And like nobody's been able to really sort of corner a market quite like the DS, like
Right.
ever again.
Right.
Like it's wild what the DS was able to
They
accomplish
got
and how,
Beyonce in commercials for the
yeah,
DS playing Rhythm Heaven.
yeah,
So it's cool. We're gonna they have acknowledged that even though like people within the industry have leaked that they're working on stuff for it, we already know games that are coming out for it. Like was it the Jedi Survivor? Is that the new one, Jedi Survivor?
Jedi Survivor, yeah.
And they when EA said, yeah, we're gonna work on a PS4 and Xbox One version. It's like I wonder why.
Yeah,
I
why would you
wonder
do
why.
that?
Why would you
What
do
could
that?
possibly gain from, so
So
weird to do an Xbox One version of
yeah.
anything, considering
Eh,
Xbox One and Series X
yeah.
software is
Yep.
considered the same.
Yep. So that's I find that interesting. And yeah, we'll find out by
Yeah.
next April. I will say one last little bit Nintendo highlight, or actually I got two quick little notes
I'd
for
say
Nintendo.
there's a very
Yeah,
important Nintendo
yeah,
news
and I'll
story
save
we
that
need
for
to
the
get
last
to.
one. This one is great. Nintendo has finally said, we're done with Twitter, guys. We're
Yeah.
discontinuing our Twitter. This is part of it. This is the cost associated. Like
Yeah.
when Elon took over, he jacked the prices up for this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
the APIs went
Yeah,
fucking bonkers, and
it went
nobody
bonkers.
wants
So
to.
people
Yeah.
do not want this. So I just find it kind of funny that
Yeah.
Nintendo is like, you know
They're
what,
actually
we're done.
just I actually just used that feature like 2 days ago.
Oh, did you? I
Yeah.
still, a lot of my friends will post directly from Switch to the
The
games they're playing, and
software,
it gets me interested in playing those games.
it still
Um,
integrates like the hashtags into
yeah,
the fucking thing.
yeah,
So
it's
like
great.
depending on the game you're posting about, like the game that I'm going to be talking about a little bit this
Yep.
week, like is what I used it for.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just kept the hashtag for the game in there. It's like, oh yeah,
I really wish that it's surprising that doesn't have that things don't have Instagram or TikTok
yeah.
integration. TikTok especially right now. But imagine if you had integration for those,
My favorite.
how much stuff would be driven to your
Have,
platform. But yeah.
have you ever tried
Anyway,
to
I thought that
take?
was
Have
interesting.
you ever tried to take a photo off of a Switch without just saving it to Twitter? It's fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous because it
I've
is.
yeah,
Because you have to use your like smartphone. There's like
right.
you open the photo, you scan a QR code, the QR code opens on your phone, and then like you have to.
That it only works if you're not on like Xfinity and some other ISPs because they block
Yeah,
that type of usage over Wi-Fi
yeah,
through VPN. So you have to actively break their VPN.
yeah.
There is one last little bit of Nintendo news, and this was important to both you and I.
Yes,
It was rumored. I had posted about it like as of late last week, and it
there were
is now
rumors as to
official.
what it could possibly be.
And it is exactly what we thought it was going to be. The Nintendo World Championship NES edition
Yeah,
has been announced, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, I am so fucking trying
yeah,
to tell you, I'm so freaking excited about this.
yeah.
Actually,
I
kind of a fun
loved.
little video too, where they talk about
Yeah,
some of the winners and
I loved NES Remix. I thought it was really good for
yeah,
what it was, and just to like take that sort of core concept and actually turn it into something.
yeah, like actual, yeah, yeah. Make
Yeah,
make them
make a real
make them
thing out of it.
worthwhile because
Yeah,
remix just kind of always stayed on your
yeah,
platform, right?
yeah,
So um, this is online, so you'll be
yeah,
able to compete online against people
yeah.
individually, or you'll be able to do leaderboards. You can do stuff locally. Let me bump ahead here
I
just so
thought
you get
that
a little
was when I first
that.
watched the trailer.
Woo!
I thought that guy that's in this guy was the
Yeah,
drums guy from the Wii
yeah,
Music for
Ravi
a minute.
drums. Yeah.
Ravi drums. There's a split
So
second.
essentially, this is a speed running
Yeah,
bonanza, right? It's
yeah,
not it's $30, so it's not a big game, but
yeah,
it's essentially it's filled with challenges from Nintendo's
yeah,
uh, games from the 80s on the
yeah.
NES, and you can compete online or you can compete by yourself with weekly challenges as well. You can compete, and the best part is coming up here. You can compete with a bunch. There's friends 5 people
This,
on the screen
yeah.
at once.
This
Oh,
shit
dude,
is
this looks so
this
it's
shit
gonna
is
be awesome.
sick. Like
Yeah, it is,
couch
dude.
co-op speedrunning is such a fucking brilliant idea. It gives like
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's not
This
because
is
like
gonna be
yeah,
this is gonna be the ultimate like drunken party thing at when we hang out at PAX East. Like we're
yeah,
definitely gonna be playing this
yeah.
at PAX East.
This
And
version's
this,
only $60, which is pretty fucking
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So
Um,
you get the game cart like normal over
yeah,
here. You get the cards, you get pins, you get a booklet, and you get a replica NES gold cartridge with
yeah.
like a little stand thing, and
With this,
that's
yeah, it
fucking
looks like the
cool,
sleeve.
dude.
Yeah, I wish that they would have made it look more like the actual like
Yeah,
competition
yeah,
cart,
yeah.
but I dig it. I think Japan gets the better version of this
They
though.
totally do because they get the
They get the Famicom
joysticks.
controllers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the wireless ones that you got for the Switch
Yeah,
Online.
I think they did those differently for those in Japan. Like the Famicom ones, I feel like I remember them being like it wasn't a Switch Online thing. It was something different
Yep,
for the Famicom controllers there.
something maybe.
Yeah.
I did I pre-order this? Yes, I've already pre-ordered
Yes.
it. Yeah, I went
It's
in. They do.
$60. I mean, for
It's not.
bullshit.
Oh
And
man.
they did say that it is like compatibility for the NES controllers is
Yeah,
like it works. There's no futzing around. It's just it works.
yeah.
So
Here's the Japanese version. So
yeah,
you get the vertical and the
yeah,
horizontal cards for the games.
yeah,
Uh, 2 controllers and the pins. How cool is that? They don't get the cart like we
yeah.
do. They get
because they get the controllers.
which is kind of sweet. And
They
I
get
always
something
gotta
that
say,
actually works as opposed
the
to us just
Player
getting a.
2 controller has was it the speaker that it had?
It was a
in there?
microphone.
Oh, microphone. That's right, because the select start was a player. It's so wild, man. Wow.
Because in Legend of Zelda, you had to use the microphone to defeat the rabbit creatures.
Yeah,
And those
they're
made
yeah,
the,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's just cool. I'm so excited for this thing.
Yeah.
July 18th,
Yeah.
already freaking already
And
pre-ordered.
calling it the NES edition, just like, oh god, there's
Sparks
gonna be
people.
a Super Nintendo one.
Yeah, yep. This, to be honest, it's the kind of thing. Just giving everybody a heads up. Buy two, buy one that you're gonna use and enjoy and play, the collector's edition, and then buy one that you're gonna sell later because these things go up in price. If you haven't bought your two, go ahead and do it now. But it's cool.
I
I'm excited.
I want to check something just to see something. You can
Sure,
keep talking, but
okay. So yeah. Anyways, that's we're excited about it. We are definitely going to be playing that sucker to high heck because it's just freaking perfect. And while JJ's checking, we're going to be transitioning here into Zelda Collector's Edition. Begs to differ. Man, it's going to be. We're gonna have a Super NES edition eventually, and that'll be cool. Or an NES edition 2, which is what Nintendo tends to do, but because they had NES remix too. God, they really missed out on Super NES remix. That would have been really freaking cool. But yeah, I'm freaking excited.
The Fire Emblem 30th anniversary edition
I got
hasn't really shot up in value.
It hasn't.
Much,
Oh, interesting.
I mean, like you could still get it for like I'm looking at like recently sold ones, and you're not looking at crazy prices. Okay. It hasn't exactly shot up. So
okay, good.
Don't buy it with the intention. That's just you being a dipshit. That's you buying two so somebody can't have one.
Did somebody say Zelda? Wow, he rears his head after he hears the word Zelda. We're gonna get those. We're gonna get those remakes this year because Nintendo's running out of stuff to do. Metroid Prime 4 and those Zelda remakes and what else? Give me one more thing.
4 is not coming out this year.
It will, and then we'll get a Mario Party this year, and then those will be the.
I will stand firm. I won't bet any money on it, but I have confidence in my soul that Metroid Prime 4
then we'll get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 this year. So yeah, that's good stuff. But let's get into some of the games that we are playing and things that we're doing. I have been just still continually playing Prince of Persia, some other stuff. So I'm not going to talk about those, but I will talk about something that I went and saw a movie tonight by a director that is tied to video games, and that is Wes Ball. Directed Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the movie I saw tonight, and he's also directing the Legend of Zelda movie.
For now.
There's your Zelda comment. Anyways, I went and saw, as I'm watching Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes tonight, I'm like, I'm watching the film. By the way, it was a good film. I enjoyed it. It's definitely setting up a whole new trilogy, and I think that was the point, because I don't want to get into too much about it, but for like the first 2/3 of the movie, you could kind of close your eyes and squint a little bit and be like, they could just replace that ape with Link, that one with Zelda, that one with like the fairy, that one with Ganondorf, that one, you can kind of start replacing things in your head and thinking, you can make this in a Zelda.
I could squint my eyes and have that happen with fucking Civil War too.
Yeah. But anyways, it was storytelling wise, it was good. So yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Go check it out. I've really enjoyed most of the movies in this one. I've loved. I think was the second one or the third one. The second one wasn't all that super great, but
I wasn't super hot on the third one, but.
I like the ending of the third one, but I'm not a big fan of Woody Harrelson in these types of roles.
It was also very slow. I think
it was. But JJ, you've been playing stuff, and I'm gonna play this first one. You're
I never
reviewing
know what I'm
this.
supposed to. What I never know where my brain is supposed to. You should give me in the private chat every once in a while, like what the first thing I'm supposed to prep myself for.
Okay. You're playing Custer's Last Stand, and
Okay. So there is a woman tied to a post.
yeah, no.
Oh no, that was different.
You're playing this sucker.
Oh man, fucking El Shaddai, the Rise of the Metaton.
Or
Just
whatever
came
it's
out.
called.
Or just like
Ascension of the Metatron.
Extension of the
Ascension.
Metaton, not Rise. Ascension. Rise
You're
is
giving us
new.
you're giving us a taste test of a
It's a taste
taster,
test,
a
man,
taste
because like
tease.
I'm not done with it yet. It just came out on the Switch like a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
end of April. Um, I had very, very fond memories of this game when it came out on the 360 and the
360,
PS3.
baby. Yeah. Ignition
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Ignition Entertainment, their one video game.
Yeah.
Ignition was basically a bunch of ex-Clover people getting together, make a new
Yep.
studio, and this is the fucking game that they came up with, which is just baffling.
It's
Like,
just so wild. Hey, they
it's so
sold like
wild.
jeans or jean jackets or something
They
for
did
this
this.
game.
This character wears jeans.
Yeah, yeah.
You play Enoch, as in
Mhm.
yes, that Enoch. And this
Yeah.
movie is Old Testament, the
This
video
game.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
You play as Enoch, and your goal is to go to the tower and retrieve all of the fallen angels.
Yep.
Um, and everything in here, everything is this. This goes above and beyond anything Evangelion did with like using religion as a touch. Everything is religious in this. Everything
Yeah,
has a
yeah.
religious. Like your narrator slash save guy right here is Lucifel,
Yep.
who's constantly on the phone, talking, constantly kind of in communication with God in various different ways, with holy weapons, fighting. Like everything's biblically accurate versions of stuff. It doesn't. It really goes full Old Testament. It's fucking wild. Yeah. Like I don't remember a lot of this game. I like playing at the beginning. I was like, yeah, this is what I remember. It's like bathed in white light and fucking like
beautiful visual design.
Yeah, and then like it gets to a point where like this shit right here.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like 2D platforming sections and like interactive cutscenes, and
they said let's just try a bunch of graphical shit.
Yeah, and like all of a sudden it turns into Final Fantasy VII.
I was gonna say, yeah. There's
like it's like you're driving a motorcycle with motorcycle combat and shit, and it's just like, oh yeah. Okay, here that fucking interactive cutscene with the stained glass. This game fucking rules.
There it is, right? Yeah.
Like nobody makes games like this anymore. Like this is an independent, fully fucking like this was a like in terms of like game. This game was sold at retail. This wasn't like if this game came out today, it would be digital only. Not a soul would put not a single studio would get their little grubby fingers on it to publish it or anything. Like this game,
they sent this to us on a 360 disc. Yeah.
This had like a full fucking like ad campaign to go around it. They've pushed this game hard.
In theaters, had ads in theaters.
This game is so fucking good. We need to go back. Like we've gone too far. Look what Microsoft has done. We need to rewind.
Go back. Well, you'll definitely tell us more.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it up. I literally played half this game in a single sitting.
Nice.
Just in my bed because I couldn't put it down. It's got like I love the weapon mechanic in this.
Down to a remake of El Shanda. El Shanda, baby.
El Shanda. And just in turn for the and just for the lineage,
nice.
Just for the lineage of this is a like the HD remaster is based off of the PC version that came out a handful of years ago, which is based off of the PS3 version.
Yeah, which is based off of the Xbox 360 version.
Yeah, but like they were even talking about it like we had no idea how we were going to do this because like making a PS3 game, a Switch game is not an easy task at
Well,
all. But
you
they
are
say, yeah,
I was gonna say you're giving us a nice juicy teaser for when you actually do talk fully about it because I
yeah,
want to hear how
yeah.
it goes, but I don't want it spoiled
Yeah, I noticed
until
I
you
didn't
tell
tell
us
you
the plot.
anything about the
Nice.
actual game itself.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of cool ass action games, you've been playing another cool ass action game, or
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say another action game,
I'd say,
and that
yeah,
is
you make sure to really throw the cool ass
yeah. I
part
don't want
into
to
the title of
throw that
this.
in there. But go ahead, tell us about this game.
The wokes win again. Uh, yeah, fucking Stellar Blade, man. This game's cool. I mean, it's not great. This is
Mm-hmm.
definitely, as far as I'm concerned, a 7. Like, it's not great. It's just
Sure.
a fun little fucking action game that wants to be near. It's not, but like, it's close. Like, this so I do want to point out, and Zach will back me up on this if he was here, but this studio has a mobile game called Nikke,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of meme worthy because it's a cover shooter, but it's like a tap-based cover shooter. But the gimmick of it is like when you pop around the corner, your female gunner's ass is like jiggling on the screen and stuff. It's really
Mm-hmm.
goofy shit. Yeah, like it makes sense that Shift Up, that they would bring that aesthetic to Stellar Blade. But the story of Nikke is actual
Mm.
near level shit. It is depressing. It is about the wards, and this does a lot of the stuff. Hey, this may
Sure.
come as I don't know if it's pretty obvious to you here, but she's a robot.
What? All those
Yeah,
glowing lights
but
looks like a
she doesn't.
PC
She doesn't
desktop. Yeah.
she doesn't understand our old ancient ways because Earth is a fucking nobody's
I'm
alive
just a
on Earth.
caveman. I
Yes,
don't
I don't
understand.
understand this big metal bird. No, but like Earth is nothing. It's just destroyed. Doing you're doing shit. All of it's an excuse to chop shit up with your cool
Sure.
swords, and it's fun and it looks beautiful.
Nice.
Like it's really cool that we're in the age of PS5
Mhm,
exclusives now.
mhm.
Started at
Finally,
the
yeah.
yeah, like started at the end of last year, and we're starting to really just like this is one of those things that makes the Microsoft stuff even more upsetting because like the Series X is such a beefcake of a console and we're nowhere near
Right.
them doing this kind of shit where it's just like this is an Xbox Series X exclusive fucking uh powerhouse of a game. But no, it has to be just expandable. It has to be beautiful on cloud streaming as well as the previous gen console or whatever. Fuck it, whatever, who cares. This game's beautiful.
Sweet.
It's cool that we're getting this era. I mean, like, I don't know, it's not $70, like is a little action
Yeah.
game where $70 to you says something. Like, I don't like to talk about value that much, but this is
Sure.
definitely one of those like, this game's gonna be this is gonna be one of those games that's gonna be on PSN Plus
Mhm, mhm. Soon
at
enough,
some
yeah.
sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
See, Sony does the smart thing with their freebies. They wait until it stops selling to give it to you for free.
Yeah. That wouldn't be surprising. That's the Game Pass direction going
Yeah.
forward. Yeah. Cool.
But
Stellar Blade. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Stellar Blade.
All them outfits too.
Yeah.
The Wokes win. The
The
Wokes.
works
Sweet. Well, I think that's actually it for this week. Look at this, under an hour.
Yeah.
We killed it, mostly because Zach's got like 2 games that he's reviewing. You're
Yeah.
reviewing this, and I think maybe another one too. I don't remember what I sent you. Maybe this is the only one. I've got a
Hell
code
Shot Switch.
or
I
2.
recently got a review code that I'll tell you off the air that
Okay.
it's for nothing of any sort of consequence, but I
Legend of
think you'll
Zelda Skyward Sword 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
Don't want to talk
we
about
were just talking about how you're not allowed to say these things.
But yeah, we'll catch up. Well, thank you, DJ. Thank
Yeah.
you. We will catch up more next week with hopefully more of the team as schedules continue to be crazy. I will be over
it's
at
been the JJ and
yeah,
Dally show
it
these
has been. That's
days.
all right. It's a crazy time of year.
Yeah.
We got we are very close to the gaming news season coming in.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at Summer Game Fest and IGN Live, which will be
I
kind of
just got
fun.
an email from Humble saying I can save $10 on my ticket to IGN Live.
Ooh, as being a humble member or something.
Yeah,
Or, all right,
yeah.
all right. I'll talk to you off the air. But yeah, it's definitely do the. If you're heading out to LA in June, look for
God,
me.
I wish.
I'll be at the JW Marriott, where everybody always hangs out.
Don't dox yourself on the internet, man.
Everybody's gonna be there. That's the
I
hangout
don't
place
care.
after.
Like the people that are
Listen,
there know that.
JJ,
You don't.
JJ, do you see the number up there? It says 4 viewers. So
No,
those 4
because you
people
took
are,
away my administrator's access. I
yeah,
don't get that shit
that's
anymore.
true. 4,000 viewers. No, if you're out there, look for me. I will be the guy who looks like this somewhere. I don't have a hotel
Unfortunately.
yet, which is crazy because they haven't released the hotel location to me yet, so I got to figure that out. But yeah, it'll be a good time. Already got some news that should be kind of interesting, and I'm super. Like we will talk offline. I'm super interested in finding out what Xbox is going to show. We already know like Avowed and Indie is going to be there. Ubisoft has their thing happening, and there's a bunch of other little events too. I'm going to have the annual list of gaming expo events. We got to think of a new one. Think of a good name for this gaming expo. It used to be like E3. Oh,
Yeah,
we could call it the Electronic Entertainment Expo Schedule. I like it. No, help us workshop an idea for what we can call our list of
There's one thing I'm
summer
good at.
events.
It's coming up with stupid names for things. So
Correct. I've seen your pets, and I'm just kidding. So no, we'll have that. We're gonna have our party lists going up very shortly this week. By the end of this weekend, we'll have party lists going up. It'll be a good time. And my friends, with that, find us at sidequesting.com. Hop into the SideQuesting Discord. That's where we like to hang. It is the world's best social media location. Forget X because Nintendo already quit that.
yeah.
For the 6 of us still on Blue Sky, that's still happening.
Yeah, what's good for Nintendo? Yeah, Blue Sky only exists to me to get notifications from you that you posted something about me.
About you, exactly. And the Discord is fantastic. That's where we all become friendly friends and family there.
Yeah.
You can find us there. And you can find us, SideQuesting, SideQuesting TV at YouTube and Twitch. And with that, we'll see you on the next episode of the Side Quest. Adios, friends. See you. Thank you.